Veggies.
Yeah.
So I just want to tune in for a bit because I know that I give a lot of information about where I currently am on things that I'm doing, but not necessarily like exactly what I'm doing. So I wanted to like tune in with you guys and probably say hi first. Hey! Tune in with you guys and let you know pretty much about HCG. And for those who are starting HCG, you know, let you know pretty much what I'm doing. And then you'll be able to follow through the days for the next 30 days with me and see exactly where I end up on my actual weight loss journey again here. So HCG diet protocol, or there's a lot of different names it goes by, but pretty much it was originally done, I'm looking down at some notation. So it was originally done by Dr. Simons, and he did a actual research on HCG and trying to see pretty much the impact it had on the fat, and he realized that it had more of an impact on fat rather than like the lean body mass. So HCG, when you're taking the drops, it actually targets, or injections, whichever one you do, it actually targets the body mass of your fat, not necessarily your lean tissues. And also it's like a restart to your metabolism. You get to eat a lot of good foods and everything like that. Normally with HCG, you do drops in the morning, noon, and night. In the morning, you do your drops, but you don't necessarily have like a full-on breakfast like you normally would think, you know, and there's studies showing that breakfast isn't necessarily needed. Everybody sees it as breakfast is the way to start the day or the best meal of the day or whatever, but it's not necessarily needed. And in this circumstance, when you're doing the HCG diet, you do like a tea or a coffee or something like that for breakfast rather than like eating for breakfast. Also, what that allows your body to do is it allows your body to be intermittent fasting, which is probably in this circumstance will put you into probably about a 16-8. And with intermittent fasting, that just allows your body to fast for a certain amount of time before you're eating again. So it allows your body to take care of certain things within your body that normally wouldn't have time to because you're constantly eating. So in this circumstance, if you're just having coffee, you're not necessarily breaking your fast like black coffee or tea or anything like that in the morning. Then you're actually eating your lunch later in the day. You're intermittent fasting. So you are going to sleep at nighttime, not eating all the way up until maybe noon or 1 or 2, and then eating your first meal. So your body is fasting throughout that time, allowing your body to burn fats, allowing your body to rejuvenate your DNA and things of that nature, which is amazing, right? So that's one thing that's great about it. And it's automatically putting you into that regime. And you can also, like, there's, you know, I'm on YouTube now, you guys can check out different information on intermittent fasting. It is a great help along the way because it gets your body into ketosis along with the HCG drops. It's going to keep you on your body fasting and burning the fat that you would like to burn if you're trying to do HCG to lose weight. So it's a little bit of information there. So pretty much take your drops in the morning. Now I do HCG here, and it pretty much is this. The droplet is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Take those, you put them right under your tongue, and you let it sit for a minute, right? After you let it sit for a minute, you swallow it. Once you swallow it, you wait about 30 minutes before you eat or drink, okay? After you've done that, and you do that each time with your drops when you take them. After you do that, then you're able to eat, and you'll eat within the protocol, within the HCG diet. Now, you're not gonna be like doing the 500 calorie like you are advised with injections. This, with the actual drops, you'd be doing, at least like I do, probably like 1,500. It ranges from 1,000 to 1,500 depending on what you eat in the day. And that's my range, like within 1,000 to 1,500, depending on how I feel. Because these drops, like, and HCG in itself really like suppresses your appetite. It really does. And it's a great thing because sometimes I need that, but then there's some days where I literally have to remind myself to eat. After I've drank all the water that I need to drink per day, I remind myself to eat. Water, big thing, huge thing. Drink your water, at least 2 liters at minimum. That's what you want to drink. I know that a lot of people say you need to drink at least half your body weight in ounces. So say you weigh 200 pounds, you need to drink 100 ounces of water per day. So, I mean, however, whenever you're thirsty, drink. My biggest thing is, like, if my lips are dry, I know I haven't drank enough water in that day. So I was drinking 2 liters and my lips were still dry. And so I knew I wasn't drinking enough water. So I continued to drink more water, and now I'm not having those issues, and I'm continuing to drop weight. I will stall if I'm not drinking enough water. You will stall if you're not drinking enough water. If you're seeing your stalling is happening for more than 2 or 3 days, start making little changes, like, okay, don't eat as much salty stuff, or cut out something that you think may be making you stall, or make sure you're counting your calories to make sure you're not going over your calories without knowing. And also, if none of those things are working, drink more water and see if it helps. It may seem like it's counterintuitive, but it isn't. It'll really, really help you. And I'm telling you off of my knowledge and my body, knowing this is something that helps me, and I've done the HCG diet multiple times and lost weight. It's just that I go back to my bad habits, which I'm gonna try not to this time, so we'll see. But just giving you some information. I'm not a dietitian. I have not gone to school for this. I'm just going off of my experiences with this. So leaving it there. And then when you're actually eating and stuff like that, you will have certain things that you can eat. And now don't go into this like, oh, I'm gonna lose 1 to 2 pounds per day, blah, 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 or 1/2 pound to 2 pounds per day, da, 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 I'm gonna do what I want. No, it is a change, and it is not easy. It is not hard either, because it's certain things that you just don't buy or don't eat. And it's for 30 days to lose up to, 25 to 30 pounds, or, I would say like 10 to 30, depending on your body mass when you start. And depending on how strict you are, and if you're doing 30 minutes of exercise per day, it's dependent. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, but you will see a change. And even if it's not necessarily in weight, you will see a change in your body and your lean mass and seeing your body. Definitely take pictures and before and after, because you'll be able to see the changes. So when we are talking about fruits, veggies, everything you can have, there are certain ones that you can't have, and some of them are off limits, honey, and I'm sorry, but it's the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, then no, just kidding. It happens. I mean, every type of thing has things that you cannot have and can have, so it is what it is. So let's get into it. With the HCG diet, you are doing low carb. Pretty much low carb, kind of like keto. Keto is more high fat, low carb type thing. I do still do higher fat content, but my higher fats are coming from coconut oils and extra virgin olive oil and stuff like that. Not necessarily like when you think about full on keto, which you're doing all these avocados and all of these, all this butter and bacon. I don't do that. I just do it like the extra virgin olive oil. I have avocado here and there. And then I have my coconut oil, and that's when I'm cooking and stuff like that. That's what I cook my food in. So fruits wise, you can have strawberries, you can have oranges, apples. I do my apples, I warm them up and I put like a little bit of cinnamon on them, and it's so amazing, especially like when you're like 15-20 days in and you need something sweet. Like apples and strawberries are clutch. And then like a half a grapefruit, and they're saying half a grapefruit because that would be the serving size. So that would help keep like sugar cravings at bay and stuff like that at bay. So other things that you can have like for lunch when you're actually eating your actual portions, you can have veal, steak, chicken breast, any type of white fish, any type of seafood like lobster, crab, shrimp, and stuff like that. And you can have like eggs as well, but you'll want to stick with more so egg whites, not necessarily the yolks and everything like that. It's not too big of a deal. I don't take that into consideration too harsh. But you'll want to stay away from like foods with like visible heavy fat on them. Like you'll want to take the fats off. Now you'll want to do like, you know, grilling them and stuff like that. Now you'll want to stay away from like higher fat fishes and not white fish. You know, you'll want to stay away from like salmon and tuna and stuff like that as much as possible, as what it says. But I mean, I eat tuna. I don't necessarily eat salmon too much when I'm on the HCG drops, but I eat tuna and I haven't had any problems with eating it. But when you're making it, guys, just no breading, no stuff like that. Pretty much same thing with like low carb, period, you know? And then the other thing is for veggies wise, low carb veggies, pretty much spinach, chard, like, you know, greens with any type of like your salads, your greens, stuff like that. Tomatoes, celery, fennel, onions, red radishes, cucumbers, and pickles, stuff like that. You can all have. Pickles are really, really, really salty though, guys. So if you're figuring out like, hey, I'm not losing weight today, and you just ate hella pickles the day before, there's so much sodium in them that's causing your body to retain water. So just letting you know, look at the sodium content in the things that you're eating, because that may cause you to retain water, and you're not necessarily retaining the fat like weight. It's not that type of weight, but it's water weight that's staying on you because of the salty things you're eating. So yeah, just wanted to tell you that. Asparagus, cabbage are also things. And then they have Melba toast. You can get it at any grocery store, and you have one breadstick per day. So one of the breadsticks for Melba toast, which is really nice to be able to have. Like I already told you, you can have apples, oranges, strawberries, grapefruit, blueberries, and stuff like that. So you have those choices, okay? You get one of those, one fruit, one veggie, one meat with lunch, and the same thing with dinner. I spread mine out though. Like I'll do a snack with my fruit, and then have my dinner just be in the veggie and the meat, and then like maybe do a later snack with the other fruit, you know. Or I would do like, sometimes I'll do the actual meat and the fruit, and then do my veggie later, depending on the veggie that I'm choosing to have. It just depends, honestly. But you want to stay away from juices. You want to stay away from diet pops. They have like aspartame and other type of sugars in them. They're not necessarily sugar, but they're just as bad. They have a high sodium content. It can cause you to gain additional weight, but it can also cause you to have cravings that you necessarily would not have if you didn't drink them. So definitely keep that in mind. Keep your alcohol content to a low, low, low. Now, if you do alcohol, here's my thing. No flavors, okay? No flavors. Just don't do any flavors. That's my biggest thing, because when you do flavors, that's what adds the carb content to your alcohol. Normal vodka, no flavor, no carbs. Rum, no flavor, no carbs. Crown Royal, no flavor, no carbs. Like, you get me? So stay away from that. Sorry about that, y'all. Other than that, I mean, I do have a video like on if you plateau, like if you are stuck at a weight and you cannot move, and you've tried the other things I say, like getting rid of the salty foods, drinking more water, 30 minutes of exercise a day, and you're just not moving, and it's been a while, like a couple days or so. And on this, you're going to weigh yourself every morning. I have a little book, and I just put my weight in there. And I also take pictures of my weight as well, so that I can see the movement there. I don't take too many pictures within it. I probably take 2 pictures at like my halfway mark and then my end mark as well. So beginning and halfway and end mark. But yeah, definitely keep track of it, because you may not be able to see it when you look at it. But then, okay, don't throw nothing else in this house, sir. Thank you. When you see it in a picture, you'll actually be able to see your changes, because 4 weeks is a long time, but at the same time, 4 weeks, you may not be able to see the change just looking at yourself, because you're seeing the change every single day. But seeing those pictures next to each other, that really does help. If you guys have any questions pertaining to HCG or anything like that, definitely hit me up in the comment section, subscribe, message me, anything like that. But I just want to give you a little bit of information when it comes down to actual HCG diet, what I do, what it entails, what I eat, and everything like that, rather than just saying, hey, I lost this much weight, and I'm doing HCG drops. And, you know, it's a little bit more in detail of, you know, what's done. My normal day, though, would just consist of, like, I wake up with my kids early, probably at, like, 5:40, and I'll get them ready. I'll take my drops in the morning. Most of the time I will go back to sleep, and then once I get up, I'll have my coffee, and that's around like 8, and I'll have my coffee and everything like that. I'll drink water throughout, and then I'll take my drops at around 12, and then after that I'll drink water and everything like that, and around 1-ish, I would say 1 or 2, I normally would have my first meal. And then after that, I would have a snack, maybe around 4 or 5, depending, because I work 12-hour shifts some days, so like it just depends on when I feel hungry. And then that'll be like the fruit or whatever else I left out of my lunch. And then later on, around 6 or 7, I would have my last meal. And after that, I would try to finish my water around 8 o'clock at the latest, just so when I'm weighing in the morning, I'm not seeing all that water weight. Because I've realized if I drink after that, I see the water weight on the scale, and I call it water weight. It may not even be water weight, but that is my that's what I've came into like thinking myself, so I just do it. So maybe different for everyone else, but that's my outlook. That's what I have to say about it. If you guys have any questions, like I said, comment, subscribe, send me a message. I will reply. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am really, really excited about 2019. I am making a lot of moves, making a lot of changes, doing a lot of things. So please stay tuned and hit that little bell down there so you guys can keep in contact and see what I have going on. And I'll definitely do the same for you. Bye.